Hey folks, it's Alpha Angel, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another fighter jet for you. This is the Skunk Works, Aeritalia or Fiat G-91. It is a lightweight strike bomber that was developed in the very early 50s. Single-seater with multiple weapons pylons allowing for different loadouts and things for attacks. Served with the Italian Air Force, the West German Luftwaffe and the Portuguese Air Force. In fact, it actually saw action in the Portuguese colonial war in Angola and Mozambique. And it had a service life of 35 years. So an impressive aircraft, and it actually produced for 19 years overall as well. What's its specifications and performance? Well, it has a max speed of about 580 knots, with a range of 620 nautical miles. It can get up to 43,000 feet, and it has a rate of climb of about 5,900 feet a minute, so pretty powerful. It's powered by a Bristol Siddeley Orpheus 803 turbojet, putting out 22.2 kilonewtons of thrust, which is 5,000 foot-pounds. Not bad. Well, it does show a lot of similarities to some other fighters from the era, and as I said, this one's made by Skunk Works. They've done a lot of stuff for previous simulators, FSX, P3D, etc. And this one is a gorgeous-looking little aircraft. We're here at Innsbruck in Austria, and I am honestly very impressed with this aircraft. It looks gorgeous on the outside, and it looks gorgeous on the inside. Let's have a quick look around. So I will need to power on the battery systems before I can open the canopy. That's the generator. That is our battery. There we go, canopy's unlocked. And I believe, yep, we have the parking brake on, so we get the chocks there and the ladder. Now, there is a configurator you can launch which will allow you to basically change the setups of various factors. I'm going to... There we go. That's another loadout there. There's bombs. What have we got here? We've got rocket pods. We'll leave those on. But you have a built-in configurator which is in the data folder along with multiple tips and tricks files and also the flight manual for the aircraft in both Italian and English, which is very useful. Right, we're going to go for a little fly here, so it's about time we get rid of some of these factors. So we're going to leave our canopy open for now, but we will start up the aircraft. So fuel boost, and we'll put on our jet tailpipe limiter, and the starter will open now. This should start the aircraft up. Oh, pump on. There we go. Let's close the hatch. I'm thinking like a spacecraft. Canopy is locked. Engine's good. Fuel boost is down. The gun sight here is a classic gun sight, not a hood. And you have got a brightness dial here to make it more visible. Of course, you can set the mils and elevation angle attack with the various things for distances of shooting, which is kind of nice. You can cage it as well. There is a drag chute which we'll use on landing. You'll see that in a moment. Instruments are very clear, precise. The textures are high quality. The visibility is really nice. Lots and lots of awesome functionality here. Now you can drop some of these bombs. I have not gone through the specifics on dropping the weapons yet. Of course, full radio systems there. Our trim settings. Engine shut-off valves. And I believe those are probably... That's emergency landing gear drop. Let's make sure the correct lights are on here. So batteries are good there. We'll put inverters on. There's our fire test circuit. Lots of other instruments down this side, of course. All the usuals. Got our radio systems, transponders there, ADFs. It's a really nice aircraft, I will say. Again, not being a jet fan, I quite enjoy it. So let's take this thing for a flight, shall we? Okay, so we'll get this thing turned around here. Now, the sounds it comes with apparently are legacy sounds. So there is a WASS sound pack, I think is the acronym, that they'll be releasing for free to go with the aircraft. So if you don't like the sounds that are with it, you can there's replacements that'll be coming free or available free from Skunk Works. Now, I kind of like these sounds. It sounds throaty. You'll hear when it gets up to full throttle. This thing really does sound like an old school jet. Right, we're going to get ourselves taxied out here to the runway and get ready to depart here from Innsbruck. I think we might be at the intersection here, so we'll have to keep an eye out. But the aircraft has great texturing in here. The detailing is beautiful. I love this thing. And performance is actually really good. I'm experiencing decent performance from this, equal to the default aircraft, I'd say. No lag issues or performance issues because it doesn't use any forms of glass in the aircraft. So, okay, I just put the brake on. I thought it was off. Come on, let's go. Right. So we are at the end of the runway here, so we're going to get ourselves turned on to the active and depart away from here. Quick circuit and we'll bring her back in. Now I'm flying on the Alpha yoke right now, the honeycomb yoke, so I'm not... It's not the best tool for a jet fighter. I haven't gone to get my HOTAS out of the cupboard. Let's rock and roll. Okay, rotation should be around 150. Coming up to about 100 here. Oh, we're rotating now, sorry. There we go, lifting clear of the runway. Let's give it a bit of trim. Hold the yoke back. Obviously, yoke not ideal. Gear up and flaps up. Trim for climb. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the aircraft climbs like a rocket ship. This thing will go up fast. Now, I don't want to go too fast right now because we are planning to bring it back and land pretty soon. But we'll go outside and have a look. Look at this thing in flight. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And very nimble. Have I still got flaps deployed? I could have sworn I retracted those. I did not. Well, there you go. It can roll with flaps. Let's bring her around here. We'll pull back the throttle a little bit. Just to get about 200 knots. I'm learning things from you jet jockeys. Oh, there we go. There's Innsbruck behind us. The jet is incredibly nimble. The handling is, I think, really, really nice. It's a nimble little single-seater. That kind of 50s golden era of jet production. It wasn't the very first jets that came out. Obviously, it was kind of the second wave there. But it's got something very different about it. It's got this really vintage feel. And not being a huge jet fan, this does appeal to me more because of that vintage nature. The developers, Skunk Works, have done a fantastic job with it. Pricing is €25, by the way. And that's available from Sim Market. I'm sure it'll be available at other places soon. I'm going to pull back here on the throttle. I'm going to bring it back in now after a bit of a circuit. But the pricing is very reasonable. And the quality here I'm not finding lacking. Now, in terms of support from manuals and things like visuals of on the ground, handy, and the weapons, which the bombs are droppable, by the way, will leave craters. There's no explosions because it's not a functionality 2020 has. This aircraft, I feel like it's so worth it. This is a really nice aeroplane. Not sure what that light flickering was. I think I might have been shuddering from my... Yes, that's the shadow flashing from the dirty pot in my throttle quadrant, which shouldn't be an issue if my Honeycomb Bravo quadrant ever arrives. Yeah, I ordered that in October. But no, the aircraft is wonderful. I love this thing. Even not as a jet fan, it's a fun plane. I can feel myself cruising around the Austrian valleys in this or doing the Mach loop. Of course, this is one of the Luftwaffe liveries from the West German Luftwaffe. So we're going to bring her into Innsbruck in a second. So we're going to get past here and coming over the town. And I'm going to attempt to land a jet properly. So the speed is dropping down now. Okay. Putting a stage of flaps down. Bringing her down here. We're a little high up, so I'll just let the aircraft sink. Let the speed bleed off a little bit as we come down, keeping some throttle on here. I'm learning from you commenters in my videos on how to fly jet fighters, something I'm not very good at. Mostly because I've never really done it much. Okay, need to keep some power on here so I don't potentially stall this thing and wing over. It's feeling a little unstable here as I come round. Give it a bit more power. I feel like I'm definitely going too slow here. Throttle on. I'm too low here. Oh, it's so low. Power on. Speed, please. I need to be able to drop the nose down here and get level with the runway. That's over there. Yeah, I'm way too slow. There's the runway right ahead of me. Let's not make a mess of this. Sinking too fast. Yeah, I'm not experienced with this aircraft, but I'm not experienced with jets overall. That was clunky, but it works. There's a drag shootout. And it slows us down nicely. Boom. Look at that thing. Very nice. Okay, so put that back in. What do I think of the aircraft? I love it. It's a quirky, realistic aircraft, and I know the developer said in their handbook that it's got a very realistic flight model. They wanted to keep it as real to the real aircraft as they could, and the real aircraft were kind of tricky. Now, I found it tricky. It was a handful, especially at lower speeds and not really being too positive on my jet circuits and jet approaches. It was a handful, but it was definitely not unmanageable. With some more experience, I think you'd have a really good time with this aircraft. Speed's good. Handling is really nice. It's predictable. It's not going to punish you. Along with the Mirachi that's out, the 338. This is a must-buy, I think. If you like jets, this is definitely a must-buy. I really love it. I think it's a fantastic aircraft. And I'm not a jet person, but I would totally recommend going and buying this. It is very cool. And it is obviously available in a multitude of liveries. I believe there's 8. We'll show you those in just a second. In fact, we'll show you those now. Something I don't really do with the add-ons. I need to show people that stuff more. So, to the menus. So here we are in the menus, and here is our Aeritalia G-91. We have an Italian livery here. We have German. We have, I believe, a low-profile, possibly Portuguese. I think this is also Portuguese as well. One of those being from, I think, the Colonial War. We have another German aircraft, and we have an American test variant there. So you have a US Army one, apparently. Or Army Air Force from the time, I believe it might have been. But it comes with those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 liveries. And they're pretty varied. So you've got some pretty simple colour schemes and some pretty complex ones. How do I compare this to, for example, if I can click on the button again without it being weird, how do I compare this to the Aeramachi MB339? I got the number wrong. I'd say it's a similar one. If you like that one, this is totally a good choice. Similar performance, but I think a lot more exciting in terms of it being a combat aircraft rather than a trainer. So, would I buy this? Yeah, absolutely. Totally recommended. Really enjoyed it, even as a non-jet fan. Hopefully you found this helpful, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!